Hi, I'm Jennifer Walker-Gates, board certified immigration attorney in Austin, Texas. And I'm here today to talk about Vawa, a victory that we've had with a client who applied through the Violence Against Women Act for his residency. Yes, it applies to men as well, even though it's called Violence Against Women Act, and had success using Vawa to overcome the permanent bar. And we're really excited about this because, as many of our clients and friends know, the permanent bar is an extremely harsh penalty in the immigration law that applies to millions of individuals who have committed very, very minor infractions of immigration law. The permanent bar basically says that, if you enter more than once and you have unlawful presence in the United States between those entries of 1 year or more, then you're barred permanently from legalizing your status. So this is an important topic because it applies to millions of people, potentially. The permanent bar does. And VAWA, the Violence Against Women Act, a law that was passed with the help and sponsorship in 1994 of Joe Biden, who's our president-elect. VAWA does have a provision that allows for a waiver of the permanent bar under some circumstances. So we had a case this week just approved for his green card for a client of ours who had the permanent bar, but was able to get a waiver through the Violence Against Women Act. So I want to explain how this happened. Here are the facts of this client's case, and it's really important to know the facts because only these particular sorts of facts will qualify for this kind of case. Our client is married or was married to a U.S. citizen. The U.S. citizen subjected our client to what's called extreme cruelty. That involves emotional and verbal abuse and a lot of different kinds of unfortunate and very emotionally challenging circumstances. So our client had to document all of that with psychological reports and his own detailed statement. There was no police report. That's also important to know. A police report in a VAWA case is not required, okay? So our client was married to a U.S. citizen. First, they tried through their marriage to get our client's residency through the regular process. Our client initially entered the United States as a young man. He entered without permission to the United States. He had unlawful presence of more than a year while he was here. And so he was required to what's called consular process his case. He was required to leave the United States, go to Ciudad Juarez, he's from Mexico, and process his residency there. Now, this was through the regular process, not through VAWA. This was the typical family-based immigration process that so many of our clients use. So even though our client had no criminal history whatsoever, when he got to the consulate in Ciudad Juarez and had his medical exam, the doctor noticed a tattoo that our client had of a Mexican symbol. And it is a very innocuous tattoo. Our client has never been involved with gangs. However, the consular officer at that time decided that our client was a gang member because he had this tattoo. This is a problem that we've seen repeatedly at the consulate in Ciudad Juarez, and we do have other videos about that too, so we'll be sharing that information. However, our client was stuck in Mexico. His spouse was in the United States with their children, and the spouse has some mental health issues. The abuse and cruelty had already begun by that point. And our client was very, very concerned about the safety of the children because of his spouse's mental health situation and her propensity to be abusive and cruel. So our client made the very difficult decision to re-enter the United States again without permission. And he continued to live with his spouse and his children until such time as he could not do it anymore. He managed to separate and get a divorce. Now, within 2 years of that divorce, and that's very important, if you're going to apply for VAWA or seek VAWA, you have to do so within 2 years of a divorce. He came and consulted with us, and we helped him file his petition for status under the Violence Against Women Act. We were able to apply for the waiver of that permanent bar, which was triggered at his second unlawful reentry, because under the Violence Against Women Act, if you can prove that your second unlawful entry is connected to the abuse you were suffering, either because of the situation that our client was in or because an abusive spouse physically goes and tells you that you must enter the United States unlawfully. If you can show that that second entry is related to the abuse, connected to the abuse, you may get a waiver of the permanent bar. And that is exactly what happened in this case. Now, this took a long time. There are multiple steps in a case like this, including the waiver, and it took a couple of years for our client to get his residency approved. Because he filed as the spouse of a U.S. The ex-spouse of a U.S. citizen under Vawa, he was able to get a work permit while his application was pending. And USCIS agreed that his lack of any criminal history or any kind of, we also had a document from an expert attesting to the fact that his tattoo was not in any way gang related, in spite of what the consular officer said. And fortunately for us and for our client, USCIS did agree with us, and they approved his case. So at Walker Gates Fellow, we are committed to uniting families and helping immigrants achieve lawful status, residency, and citizenship in the United States so that they can continue to contribute their gifts and passions to our culture and our vitality here in the United States. If you are a survivor of abuse, cruelty, or domestic violence, you have even more to give. You are even more of a survivor. Your courage and determination are even stronger than those of most immigrants. And we want to help you achieve your dreams in the United States. So if you or anyone that you know or love has endured this kind of cruelty or abuse, I want you to know that you don't have to continue. And we at Walker Gates Vela stand ready to help you. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions. Our link to schedule a consultation will be posted below this video. And we look forward to helping as many deserving immigrants achieve their American dream as possible. Thank you so much. Have a great day.